Peace reflections. You are over here with Tarithia. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, depending on which platform you are on. Now, we are here for another decoding video reflection. You know, I'm nosy as fuck. So, we are over here at Camp Pendleton, baby. I have officially pulled my spaceship over here at Camp Pendleton. Now, we not landing reflection. We just hoovering over there, just trying to look and see what's going on. Because reflection, I don't know if you know, if you heard about the things that went on at Camp Pendleton. If you haven't, don't worry. Get your roll up, get your pull up reflection, because you just might need it. Now, remember, this video can be a little triggering to some. So if you are triggered to SA and different things like that, this may not be the video for you. But hit that like and subscribe button before you leave, and the next video will surely be for you. All right. Everything that is expressed in this content, it does not express the opinions of this platform or channel. Now that I paid my insurance bill, let's get to the nitty and the gritty, baby. We over here in California. California love. Yes, baby. We are over here at California love. All right. Now, with that being said, let me turn my music down in my spaceship, because this video is a little more serious. Okay, you know, I kid, I do my joke and reflection, but this is a very serious topic that need to be discussed. Okay, now again, if you haven't heard about the things that have went on at Camp Pendleton, definitely go after this video, pick up what you need to, and do your research. Remember, reflection, you never stop and listen at one thing and don't go do your research. You got to go and do your research. Okay, now with that being said, let's get started.
This is the last confirmed location for Corporal Charles Alex Benfield this past Sunday, this bridge center here on Market Street in Grant Hill. And since then, the military or his family have not heard from him.
We're all worried this isn't normal behavior for Alex.
A North Carolina family is trying to locate missing Camp Pendleton Marine Corporal Charles Alex Benfield. Benfield was out in downtown San Diego over the weekend when he was detained for public intoxication, then released from the McAllister Institute Recovery and Bridge Center Sunday, April 14th.
He was saying how he was scared he was going to lose his rank because they had a meet that following morning at 8 a.m., which he had obviously missed, that he needed to find his phone, so he was going to go search for that.
A communications director with the Marines issued a statement saying, in part, once Benfield's unit was made aware of his release, Marines searched downtown trying to locate him. Safety and accountability of Marines is a top priority, and the Naval Criminal Investigative Service will continue to try and locate Benfield.
I can understand him being scared to show up after missing a meet, but to completely fall off the face of the earth basically is unlike him at all.
They say Benfield loved his job and just re-enlisted for 4 more years with the Marines this fall, so they can't accept that he would choose to abandon his duties. Lazo says Benfield's phone is dead but pinged last at the San Diego Police Department. His financial activity is also raising more questions.
His bank has been cleared out. There was no money left in it, that there were several big amounts of money taken out at several different ATMs.
Ultimately, they're hoping by speaking out, it leads them closer to knowing their loved one is safe.
If you've seen him, we're just desperate for help. We want all eyes looking, searching, seeing if they catch even a glimpse of him. Throw us a bone, set us in any direction.
His family has tried calling hospitals, hotels, even the medical examiner. And meantime, the NCIS is asking for anyone with tips to submit them online. We've posted a link of how you can do that up on our website under the Scene On tab. Reporting in Grant Hill, I'm Kasha Grigorchik, and I'll send it back.
All right, reflection, hit the like and subscribe button. Now, this is key right here. All right. Now, keep in mind, they said that he went missing, but he had re-enlist. Okay. Now, why is it important that he had re-enlist? Well, it is alleged, reflection, that when they re-enlist, they get a big bonus, a very, very big bonus. Now, keep all of that in mind, because we're going to go to another story where this particular Marine actually got a big bonus when he re-enlisted, and shit happened, shit went wrong, reflection. So just keep that in mind, because over here we don't believe in coincidences. But let's just keep listening. Let's keep listening.
Beautiful girl, that's why it'll never work. You have me suicidal when you say it's over.
Camp Pendleton Marine has been questioned and released to his command after a missing 14-year-old girl was found inside his barracks on base. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. The girl is now home with her family in Spring Valley. As CBS 8's David Gottfredson reports, the teenager's aunt is now speaking out on social media, saying her niece was sold to the soldier for sex.
She was found in the barracks by military police. She had been sold to a soldier for sex. The military is trying to cover it up.
Cassandra Perez took to social media last week announcing her missing 14-year-old niece, who has learning disabilities, was found inside a Marine barracks at Camp Pendleton.
The security looked her in the face and allowed this man to bring a minor onto base, where he then proceeded to have sex with her.
The teenager went missing on June 10th from her home in Spring Valley. The girl's grandmother told the sheriff's department the teenager had run away from home before, but had always returned home quickly. A Camp Pendleton spokesperson confirmed the authenticity of a leaked photo.
All right, Reflection. That was a 14-year-old girl. You heard them. That was found in the living space of this particular Marines. And not only that, a lot of people, some people said she was 13 allegedly. But Reflection, a lot of people were wondering, how did she get past security? How did no one notice that she was allegedly underage? Remember, all of this is happening at Camp Pendleton. Now, this is the aunt who was speaking out.
I would just like to preface this video. I did not kill myself. If I go missing or end up murdered, the people potentially responsible could possibly be located here at Camp Pendleton.
Hello, my name is Cassandra Perez. Please share this video with anybody and everybody. This is a warning to the public. To not jeopardize the ongoing investigation, I will not be releasing the name of the victim. However, I will be releasing details to the public to help prevent harm and hopefully find others willing to share their story. My niece is under the age of 18 and has learning disabilities. On June 10th, she went missing, and on June 27th, she was found on Camp Pendleton. Camp Pendleton is a military base in Oceanside, San Diego. She was found in the barracks by military police. She had been sold to a soldier for sex. The military is trying to cover it up. They are trying to cover it up and place majority of the blame on her. However, the reality is the whole facility allowed this to happen. The security looked her in the face and allowed this man to bring a minor onto base, where he then proceeded to have sex with her. Due to her age, she could not have given this consent. We've just had an interview with someone referred to us by the military. In this meeting, we were told by the affiliated personnel that the military detective assigned to the case is trying to cover this up. As you can imagine, this is upsetting and absolutely unacceptable. I have the lead detective's name and phone number and will be releasing it to the public pending confirmation from our attorney. Our hope in doing so is to both bring attention to my niece's case and to ensure that this does not go away upon release of more details. We hope you would join us in calling and demanding both release of details as well as the pursuit of justice. Our family is worried about retaliation from the military and the man that has trafficked my niece. We believe they could be working together and covering this up, and that the military is only trying to protect their property.
Hit the like and subscribe button. Remember, everything over here is alleged. She's just telling her story, and we being nosy is fucking listening. Reflection. Now, this is a very serious claim that she's making, that her niece not only had learning disabilities, but she had ran away from home. Reflection. And they're saying that allegedly that this they could be working with someone to cover it up. Do you think this is true? Reflection, or is it all alleged?
All right, Camp Pendleton, which is outside of San Diego, Oceanside, San Diego, I believe, is where this took place. This woman uploaded this video yesterday.
My niece is under the age of 18 and has learning disabilities. On June 10th, she went missing, and on June 27th, she was found on Camp Pendleton. Camp Pendleton is a military base in Oceanside, San Diego. She was found in the barracks by military police. She had been sold to a soldier for sex. They are trying to cover it up and place majority of the blame on her. However, the reality is the whole facility allowed this to happen. The security looked her in the face and allowed this man to bring a minor onto base, where he then proceeded to have sex with her. Due to her age, she could not have given this consent. We've just had an interview with someone referred to us by the military. In this meeting, we were told by the affiliated personnel that the military detective assigned to the case is trying to cover this up.
Okay, she said her family member is under 18 and has learning disabilities. When you hear under 18, what does that evoke for you? I can tell you myself personally, I thought, okay, 17, maybe 16 years old. Well, some other stuff has leaked around this story. Janae posted pictures from the duty log on base that records the incidents from that evening. And there is a record of this incident where they describe how they went in the barracks and found a 13-year-old girl. He bought a 13-year-old girl, allegedly, off of someone, brought her back to the base, got through the guard gate with her, took her into his barracks, assaulted her because there's nothing consensual about that. And that's where she was found. And now it looks like to the family that they're trying to blame the 13-year-old, the child, for this. That will not happen. The only acceptable response is to take down everyone. The one who brought her in, anyone who was in those barracks and saw her and was okay with that, the guards that let them pass, the people who sold her to him, everyone. We will accept nothing less.
And subscribe button, Reflection. I can definitely agree, because one thing about it, a 14-year-old and an 18-year-old, I don't care how developed they are, they don't look alike in the face, Reflection. You can tell a 14-year-old from somebody that can possibly, you get what I'm saying, not too long ago, go buy some liquor, Reflection, because they changed. You used to it 18, you could go in, okay, I'm just saying, Reflection, a 14-year-old and an 18-year-old do not look alike. They facial structure ain't made alike. Reflect, you got to pay attention. You have to pay attention.
Two of the country's most famous military units are under intense scrutiny today over troubling incidents on opposite sides of the world. A human smuggling investigation led to the mass arrest of 16 Marines from the 1st Marine Division yesterday at Camp Pendleton in California. 2 other Marines were arrested and charged earlier this month. Now, the accusations range from smuggling illegal immigrants into the country to drug-related offenses.
And in a separate case, an entire platoon of elite Navy SEALs was sent home from Iraq over allegations of sexual misconduct and drinking while deployed. Jamie Yukis is at Camp Pendleton, that's north of San Diego. Jamie, what more do we know?
Well, this is what we know right now, Tony. Those 16 Marines are in the brig on the base, and authorities here say they've already questioned 8 additional Marines. Marines are known for their discipline and dedication to country, but in the past month, authorities here have arrested 18 Marines from this base, some for allegedly helping ferry undocumented immigrants into this country in exchange for money.
It's a shock to the system.
Thursday's arrest of 16 Marines occurred in dramatic fashion in front of their own entire unit.
The release of this information was really so we could be completely transparent about what happened today. It was a very large arrest.
The Marines were made to line up in morning formation, like this one the Marine Corps filmed earlier at California's Camp Pendleton. They were then arrested for offenses that range from human smuggling to drug-related activities. All 16 suspects are members of the oldest active duty Marine Division, headquartered here just 60 miles north of the Mexican border. None of the Marines were among the 6,600 active duty and National Guard troops assigned to bolster border patrol at the southwestern border. The Marines say Thursday's arrest stemmed from an earlier arrest of 2 more Camp Pendleton Marines near the Mexican border in early July. The pair were pulled over with 3 undocumented immigrants in their back seat and charged with human smuggling. Both have pleaded not guilty. According to authorities, the undocumented immigrants said they agreed to pay the Marines $8,000. The Marines said it was not their first time doing this, and Border Patrol expanded the investigation, which led to Thursday's arrests.
If they are in fact found guilty of those crimes, then they'll be held appropriately accountable for that.
In a separate case on the 4th of July, an entire platoon of 22 elite Navy SEALs in Iraq allegedly held a drunken party. That not only violates regulations against consuming alcohol in Iraq, but there have also been allegations of sexual assault. When questioned, the whole platoon from SEAL Team 7 in Iraq refused to speak with investigators. When their commander ordered them home on Wednesday, he said he, quote, lost confidence in the team's ability to accomplish the mission. Vlad?
All right, Jamie, thank you very much.
Now that's something else. Y'all had to get y'all ass sent home, allegedly, Reflection, because listen, you gotta really be into some shit if they be like, you know what, we finna abort the mission. I done lost faith in all the training we done gave you, baby. You know, like, do we need to hit the button? Do we need to hit the button? Because what's going on? And my thing is this, Reflection, they all took the oath of silence. All of them wouldn't speak on what happened. They wouldn't speak on this. Now, this is all happening at Camp Pendleton again.
More than a dozen U.S. Marines are under arrest tonight on charges that include human smuggling. They're based at Camp Pendleton. That's about an hour's drive from the Mexican border. And David Martin has details of the arrest that was done as a public display for the entire unit to see.
First, there were 2 Marines accused of human smuggling. Now there are 16 more, all members of the same battalion, arrested at Camp Pendleton, California today during morning formation. None of them were among the 6,600 active duty and National Guard troops assigned to the southwest border. 8 more Marines were questioned in an unrelated drug case. The first 2 Marines were arrested earlier this month when Border Patrol agents caught them in the act of picking up 3 undocumented immigrants from Mexico. According to court documents, the 3 immigrants told investigators they were paying $8,000 to be smuggled to Los Angeles or New Jersey. One of the Marines said he was expecting to be paid $1,000 for his role. The other said he had made similar pickups before. That case prompted Border Patrol agents to expand their investigation, resulting in today's mass arrest. Officials say more arrests are expected.
All right, Reflection, hit the like and subscribe button. Now, remember, everything over here is alleged. It's almost not alleged because they're saying, yes, we found them there. Yes, they were. We caught them in the back seat, Taretha. There is no alleged. They was right there in the back seat, baby. What were you doing? Were you giving them a ride across the border? What the fuck were you doing? Hit the like and subscribe. But my spaceship is just hoovering over. I almost dropped my roll up when I said they was doing what? You said what now? Reflection.
Pendleton is confirming with Fox 5 that a Marine from the base never returned after a weekend in San Diego. His family says they haven't heard from him in days and that his bank accounts have been drained.
North Carolina family is trying to locate missing Camp Pendleton Marine Corporal Charles Alex Benfield.
He was saying how he was scared he was going to lose his rank because they had a meet that following morning at 8 a.m., which he had obviously missed, that he needed to find his phone.
Communications director with the Marines issued a statement saying in part, once Benfield's unit was made aware of his release, Marines searched downtown trying to locate him.
All right, now that's key. Keep in mind, he had just re-enlist. Keep in mind, when they re-enlist, they get money, not little money. They get big money. They get a Bitcoin, Reflection, not Bitcoin, but they get a Bitcoin. Okay, so with that being said, that is key. And I know you're like, what does that have to do with anything, Tariq? They got everything to do with everything. Listen at this story and tell me, is this shit a coincidence?
2008, the Riverside Police Department did a welfare check at 31319 Bermuda Street when Janek failed to report to work. And when police arrived, they found a gruesome crime scene. Newlyweds Janek and Kiana were unalive, and they had met a pretty violent end. Their home had also been ransacked. Kiana was found without clothes, and she had red duct tape on her eyes and mouth. She had been executed. Her husband, Marine Sergeant Janek, he was laying next to her. He had also had his wrists and hands bound and his feet bound, and he had been badly beaten and stomped. He also had been executed. And surprisingly, the crime scene was void of fingerprints and shell casings. But there were 3 distinct set of shoe prints. Obviously missing from the home were the couple's wedding bands, Kiana's engagement ring, the Movado watch that Jan used to wear, a pearl necklace, an earring and necklace set, and Kiana's ATM card.
All right, now keep in mind these were people that were located at Camp Pendleton. Let's keep it going, Reflection.
All were racial slurs, which led police to believe this was a racially motivated crime because clearly this is a biracial couple. The investigation immediately got a lead when Kiana's ATM card was used at 3:20 a.m. after the unaliving in Fallbrook, California. And investigators were able to get the surveillance video. Investigators are also able to determine that 2 of the shoe prints that were left behind were Nike Air Force Ones and Nike Cortez. This is a generic picture of Nike Air Force Ones and Nike Cortez. So investigators start their investigation at Camp Pendleton, which is where Janek had recently been stationed. And immediately they learned that he was having issues with one Marine in particular, Lance Corporal Tyrone Miller. And when they look at the ATM footage, they kind of think he may have the same stature as the guy who used the ATM. So they bring him in for questioning, and they ask him what he was doing that night, and he said he was home all night. But then he started to change his answer. He was like, yeah, sometimes me and my friends do drive through Janek's neighborhood in the middle of the night. So detectives throw him a softball. What kind of shoes do you and your friends wear? When not in uniform, of course.
So what do you think about that, Reflection? They have found these people. They see these particular shoe marks, and now they go and they question this other Marine. What do you think about that? Do you think this is all a coincidence? Do you think this was racially motivated? Let's keep it going.
Tragic death of Kiana and Janek Pichik. So when I left off, they had showed up to Miller's house with a search warrant. So as they get there, they bust down the door. Miller sees them. He grabs his child and shields himself as he runs from room to room as investigators are hunting him down. This guy, Father of the Year, ladies and gents. They eventually get him without anyone getting hurt. And inside, they find a landmine of evidence. They find Kiana's ATM card, the missing jewelry, spent shell casings, sneakers that matched the shoe prints at the house, and tucked away in Miller's closet, they found Janek's Marine dress uniform with his medals and name tape intact. The same uniform that Janek had worn just 67 days earlier when he married this beautiful girl right here. The sad part was that by the time they found the uniform, Janek had already been buried, but he wasn't able to be buried in his military uniform.
All right, Reflection, hit the like and subscribe button.
So the jig was up, and Miller spilled the beans, but he minimized his role entirely. But before he did that, he implicated 2 other Marines. Those Marines were 18-year-old Emerus John, who was the alleged shooter, and 20-year-old Private Kevin Cox. But detectives soon found out that there was a 4th Marine who had been involved, Private Kayshawn Sykes, whose nickname was Psycho. The 4 guys can't get their story straight, so prosecutors say they have overwhelming evidence, so they proceed and they are all charged with murder. And the prosecutor was seeking the death penalty for all 4 Marines. At trial, this is the story that emerged. Miller was the mastermind because Janek was his supervisor who was pretty hard on him. Miller had wanted to rob Janek because Janek had recently signed a reenlistment with the Marines and he got a really hefty bonus. So the 4 Marines show up at the Pichik's house after midnight. They go around back, they're trying to break in, trying to see if there's anything open, but everything's locked. So Cox decides he's going to ring the doorbell and the other 3 are going to hide. Janek sees that Cox is there. He comes down. He actually grabs a knife and then he turns off his alarm system. He opens the door ever so slight to figure out what Cox needs. But that knife that he grabbed, it's not going to help him.
So what do you think about that? Keep in mind, what did they just say? He re-enlisted. When he re-enlisted,
So
they had gave him a nice amount of money, Reflection, okay? And keep in mind the other Marine, she was over him. His wife, they were over him, Reflection. And what do you think about the racial slurs that were on the wall? Do you think this all is just a coincidence? Keep in mind, they were one way by day, allegedly, and they did other shit by night.
We're at the part where the four guys have entered the Pichik home. While they're downstairs attacking Janek, a few of them go upstairs to Kiana, and that's where they take off her clothes, they put red duct tape on her eyes and mouth, and then they drag her downstairs and put her next to her husband. For 90 minutes, they terrorize this couple while simultaneously ransacking the house. They do despicable things to Kiana, which I'm not going to mention here. And then Miller looks at John and says, quote, "End them," end quote. John then puts 2 bullets into Kiana and 3 into Janek. Then they pick up 4 of the 5 shell casings and they're on their way. They are all charged with first-degree murder and burglary and other crimes. Miller and Sykes are also charged with SA with an object.
I don't think you heard what they said. Reflection. Hang them all at the stake, baby. Hang them all when the sun set at 12 a.m., baby. They said that is not when the sun said. Reflection. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen, because they ain't shit for that, Reflection. What was the purpose of doing all of that? Okay, so think about that. These people are out there working, Reflection. Yeah, she gave him a hard time, but she was there literally to do a job. And he ended up breaking in. And not only did they get robbed, Reflection, they SA'd her. So that was something that y'all didn't want to do. And my thing is this, they said with an object, Reflection.
Egregious that they are seeking the death penalty. It turns out that these 4 Marines were living double lives. Marine by day, but at night when the uniform came off, they were committing home invasions, burglaries, you name it. And you know what? They knew exactly what they were going to do that night before they got to that house. John, on his MySpace earlier in the day, wrote, quote, "Chilling, waiting for the killing," end quote. And after the double murder, the 3 non-shooters told John, the shooter, that, quote, he had earned his stripes that night, end quote. Absolutely despicable. So in this case, they had 2 trials. Miller, Cox, and John were tried in 2013, and Psycho Sykes was tried in 2014. He would have been tried with the other guys, except during one of the hearings, he stood up in the middle of trial and started to take a leak right there in court. Of course, he was ordered to have a psych eval. Not surprising, they were all convicted. Cox was sentenced to life in prison, and the other 3 were sentenced to death. But just as a side note, in 2019, Governor Newsom did issue a moratorium on the death penalty in California. Sadly, it wasn't until all trials were concluded that Janek's mom finally got his military dress uniform back. And you know,
now that's something right there, Reflection. And my thing is this right here. And did you hear? He stood up and took a urine in the courtroom, Reflection. Don't play crazy now. Do not. I would have told him, baby, I don't give a damn. You can take a urine to the left, to the right, side to side, baby. After you get done, baby. Fuck the psych evaluation. I knew you didn't have no motherfucking sense. Allegedly, when y'all was in there with an object, okay, yes, that was enough for a psych evaluation right there. What the fuck are you really into over there, baby? Did they hit the button on your ass? Had you lost your mind? Because you know we don't do this shit. We don't do that type of shit. What was really going through your mental when you was in there with whatever it was you was in there with? It was enough that you executed these people, but then you SA her in front of him, and then It was like torture, Reflection, and then you still executed her. That didn't even like Reflection. Don't take a piece of my quiver. I would have told him, baby, I don't care. You can do you got a boo boo too? Do you got to do that too? Because you can do that too, baby. You can do that too, because it really don't make me no motherfucking difference. I don't give a damn what the stock evaluation say. I 12 hang them at the stake, baby. And we're not finna look over the fact. I'm wondering, why did one of them get the death penalty and the rest of them, no, three of them got the death penalty and one of them got life in prison. I'm trying to figure out if he played the same part just because he didn't get up and piss in court, baby. You get your ass in line too at 12 when the sun finna set. Cause yeah, you don't get no lenience around here, baby.
4 Marines that was stationed at MCAS Camp Pendleton, Marine Corps Air Station Camp Pendleton, California, unalived their sergeant and his wife. It's 2 different motives, they said. They said it could have been robbery, could have been a motive because the sergeant just got a $30,000 signing bonus. He was a helicopter mechanic, and if you know anything about the Marine Corps, you know those guys and the infantry guys get big re-enlistment bonuses. And they say that he had been talking about it around the shop or wherever, and a few Marines knew about it. And he actually even told Marines that he had the cash at his house. And you know how the Lance Corporal Network is, because these 4 Marines that went in there and did this savagery were all between the ranks of private and Lance Corporal. Anyway, they went in his house, they tied him up, duct taped him and his wife. They violated the wife in the worst way possible while the husband sat there and watched. I don't call these guys Marines at all. No way in the world were these guys Marines. And even before they did it, they put on MySpace what they was about to do. This is how long this is MySpace era. They put on MySpace what they were about to do. And then before they left, they wrote on the wall, N-bomb lover. You know, that's why the police and stuff was saying that maybe it was racially motivated. But I think they did that also as a throw off, because you keep in mind that the sergeant was white and his wife was black. And they tried to burn the house on fire to burn down all of the evidence and everything. It's all kind of stuff going on with this, man. When it was all said and done, 3 out of the 4 were given the death penalty. 2 of them worked for the sergeant. 2 of them was up under his command, which I believe personally that's probably how they found out about the $30,000. And they probably were savages to begin with. These guys weren't Marines. They all was entry-level ranks. They don't see nothing Marine about them doing something like this, man. Like I said, 3 of them right now got the death penalty. 3 of them and 1 of them got life. 3 of them on death row right now at San Quentin. See, at first they started investigating that this Marine, he was a disciplinarian. He was a sergeant. He was a disciplinarian. So they started going into motives like maybe who was some Marine that he might have got into it with lately. But you got a lot of Marines that's crybabies. You got PFCs, private Lance Corporals. They just crybabies, man. You can't tell them nothing. Nothing. If you told me something, I did it anyway, and I might complain afterwards. But that's what I always do. What you're told to do, and if you got a problem, you complain after. People join the Marine Corps and get surprised that they're getting yelled at. I'm serious. I'm like, I don't get this. You join the Marine Corps and you tell somebody don't talk to you like that. You already know what's going on before you join. Anyway, and as you can see, like the pictures of these guys, doesn't look nothing Marine like them. You know what I'm saying? And they were all young mentality, because you got Marines like them that's not going that far. But if you know about the Marine Corps, them E1 through E3 ranks can be real crucial. Those are the young Marines. Those are the rowdy ones. Those are the ones getting in trouble. Your high ranks getting in trouble. Those are the ones getting NJP'd, disorderly conducts, all of that stuff. That's why once you get them entry-level ranks, man, it's an accomplishment. It's an accomplishment getting through those entry-level ranks. But y'all look that story up, man. Look the story up. His name was Sergeant Pietrzak. It's spelled something like Pietrzak.
Right, Reflection, hit the like and subscribe button, hit the follow button depending on which platform you are on. Remember, we are over here just telling you shit. I don't know, you've been busy, Reflection, baby. You didn't know what was going on over there at Camp Pendleton. Okay, now definitely pick up what you need to at this video and go do your own research. And again, make sure you go over to my community wall so you can go subscribe to my second channel, Eye of Crime, because over there, Reflection, we're getting into a lot of crimes. If you like stories like this, what I presented today, then definitely go to my backup channel, go over there and subscribe, because I just started dropping videos on there. I'm gonna be dropping videos twice a week over there on Eye of Crime. So if you into conspiracy theories, or if you are into infamous murders and things that are going on not just in the United States but across the country, definitely go over there and subscribe. And again, that's on. You can find the link on my community wall. Until next time, Ashe.